Hello, it is Tamika, a new me, 1109, filling in today for Grelin Be Gone, or Shea Leonard, or Aisha as I know her, or simply the bestie for me. So I am today's Tuesday guest vlogger on ProofWLSWorks. If you don't know much about my journey, I'll go ahead and share a little bit about that now. I am a lap bander. I was banded on November 9th, 2009. So that means I am officially 2 years, and I wrote it down, 2 years and 5 months out. I am 1 year and 8 months living in maintenance. My highest weight was 288 pounds. The day of surgery, I was 274 pounds. And I reached my goal weight, which was originally 170 pounds, but I weighed in at 168 at some point. I sort of bypassed that 170 and didn't realize it. So maintenance for me has been a comfortable weight for me is 156. However, I float. And I do some floating because I can't exercise due to my MS. So I have some unique things going on with me. I am a lap bander who's actually banned from exercise because I do have MS. And I've found a few other MSers out there with lap bands, so that's great. And I don't mind saying that so that we can connect and sharing this weight loss journey together. In addition to sharing in our other situation that we have. So let me go ahead and get to today's question. Today's question is, did you have a negative self-body image pre-op? And do you still have the same negative body image today? Why or why not? Definitely yes, I did have a negative self-body image before surgery. I think like a lot of people who suffer from obesity, I think at some point we sort of become invisible to the world, or it feels as though we're invisible to the world. And I definitely know that there were times in my life where I was sort of asleep in terms of what I was doing with myself physically and how I was presenting myself to the world physically. So I would, and of course I worked through this whole process, but you know, I look back and there were times when I just sort of threw some clothes on and threw a shoe on and, you know, brushed my hair back. Didn't necessarily put myself together or present myself to the world in a good fashion, I guess I can say. Yeah, I'll go ahead and own that. I was trying to figure out whether or not that was my truth, and I think that it was my truth. You know, I was also sort of the big girl that, you know, I went to Lane Bryant and I went to Torrid and I tried to be as cute as possible. But I think I did go through a period of time when I just sort of existed because I just was very unhappy in my skin. I was very unhappy with what I had allowed myself to become. And the fact that it was just completely away from me. And I just felt like I was completely out of control in terms of what I was doing with myself physically. I'll own that. You know, I didn't necessarily think about what I was going to say ahead of time. I knew what the question was, but I just wanted this to sort of freely flow from me. And so did I have a negative self-body image pre-op? Yeah, I'll go ahead and say I did. Again, you know, I think there were times when I tried to present myself well and I wanted to be a cute big girl, but for the most part, I don't think that I cared all that much. And I'll say that in comparison to the other side of weight loss surgery and going through that journey, and because I don't think my transformation about how I felt about myself happened when I got there, when I got to what I thought was my goal. I think it sort of morphed along the way, and I think that if you were somebody who who traveled on this journey with me, maybe you saw that a little bit in my videos. But because when I look back in some of those beginning days, I'm like, did I really sit there like that? My hair wasn't even combed. And prop the camera up and make a video and upload it, you know. And then as I went along, it was like, yeah, that girl is changing. She is feeling better about herself. She is putting a little bit more effort and energy into how she's presenting herself to the world. And, you know, I vividly remember my first goal reward for myself was an Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. It was Alice in Wonderland was out at the time, and I wanted that. And previously, I wasn't necessarily completely a designer sort of or brand makeup person. Maybe I go in the MAC store every once in a while and get some lip gloss or something like that, but that was the extent of it. And that was my first, you know, sort of bigger purchase of eyeshadow. I don't know how much it was, maybe $50, $60 or something like that. But it was a stretch, and it was outside of my norm. And that was my treat for my first 50 pounds lost. And I haven't turned back since. You know, I continue to treat myself with those types of things and reward myself with those types of things. I don't mind spending money on myself for fashionable type items. And again, when I go out in public, you know, like I work from home, and so I'll sit around the house and, you know, maybe throw something on when I'm taking the girls to school in the morning. But when it's time for me to go out in the world, it might even be to the grocery store. I will be full on, you know, today I decided to go out to the mall to pick up something, like to Walmart. And, you know, there's eyeshadow, there's, you know, gloss and earrings and, you know, every whatever. And I'm presenting myself to the world in a different light than I did pre-op, when I wasn't necessarily happy with myself. I told a story on Facebook over the weekend where I was at Red Lobster. We did like some shopping. I was out with the girls, my grandmother, and I was sitting there, and the lady that was helping us, she sort of looked at me at some point, and I don't know what I had on, but, you know, I thought I was cute, and not to lie about it, but, you know, I was presenting myself well. So that I thought, and, you know, I had my makeup on, and I had clothes on, and I had, you know, a nice handbag, and, you know, whatever. And she looked at me, and she said something about, you remind me of a magazine, and something about I had on muted colors. And she sort of looked at me, and we made like this eye contact, and then I reached for something, and she was like, "In your nails," and then she looked at me, and she was like, "You're interesting." So, you know, on this side of weight loss surgery, I have more compliments from people, from both sexes, of just either you're cute, or you're pretty, or, you know, that's a nice eyeshadow color, or, oh, your nails are cute, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And I think that it all lines up with, on this side of the story, I do have a more positive self-body image. Oh, wow. I was being reflective. I was being honest. I was being open. And, you know, I didn't necessarily ever stop to think that perhaps I didn't like myself too much when I lived in that world of obesity. And but now that I share and I really think about it, I think I did. I think I went years of just existing and not being happy with myself at all. You know what? I totally forgot about something. I didn't really go too deep off into the additional options that you have on the other side of weight loss. And so let me show you a couple. Now, preoperatively, I would never, ever be able to wear this. Or this. And so with the weight loss, you have, it sort of opens up this door to additional options. I find that now on the other side of this, I'm more of a dress person. Whereas before I was always just in, sort of some regular old pants and, a big old shirt. Now I'm, a little dress as much as possible. Even in the winter time, I sort of can chuckle at myself. I was still putting on my cute little dresses with like some skinny jeans or something. Like I needed to still wear my cute little dresses. So that's one thing that I almost forgot. All the options that you have that are available. I was in the mall picking up something for my daughter. She's getting ready to go on a camping trip, and I just sort of wandered in American Eagle Outfitter, one of my first sort of, yay, I can fit a normal store. So every time I go in there, I have those sort of warm and fuzzy memories of, I remember when I came in here and bought a dress and bought a shirt and bought a skirt and it fit. And I didn't have to go across the hall to the Lane Bryant, and I sort of stared at that place like, oh my gosh, you were such a part of my life for so many years, and now I don't need to go in there anymore. I remember when I first sort of got to the point where I couldn't fit anything in Lane Bryant anymore, I would still travel in there. Like I would still make my way in the store, and I would stand and look around. And I remember one day this lady said, but you don't fit anything in here. And I thought, I don't. I went into Express today. They were having a sale, and I went in there. I bought a dress, and I bought a tank, and I bought another shirt. And it's just an amazing feeling to be able to go in a normal store and not have limitations and be able to pick up something off the rack, and mind you, not be picking up the largest size that's on the rack. It's just an amazing feeling. So all of that goes towards having a better self-image on the other side of weight loss. I almost forgot that. I'm so glad that I had to run out and get something, and I was driving back home, and I thought about, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be doing a disservice if I don't talk about that aspect of the journey that also helps lift up your spirits and make you see the world in a different light. Okay, what about you? I think that was an excellent question, but I'd love to hear maybe in the comments or video responses how you would answer that question. Alrighty, this was fun. The bestie's not feeling well. She's under the weather and asked if I would do this, and of course I said yes. I shall see you guys later. Bye.